A new oil refinery opened on the Furry Railways. It was used to bring fuel to important machines like road vehicles, construction equipment, and diesel engines. While it was not very big, it was also not a welcome sight. Thick, dirty black smoke plumed out of the refinery's big funnels, making a foul smell fly in the air. None of the engines liked the refinery, as the smell sickened them. The tankers there were even rarely maintained, making them most troublesome. Whenever one of the engines was about, they would throw nasty insults at them.
Look, it's that big tomato can!
Oh, good grief!
The refinery's manager was on a money trip and only cared about the money flow. That was the reason behind the refinery's poor condition. Everyone hated the oil refinery, even the animals that lived near it. They knew all about the effects of pollution and feared that something bad would happen if the refinery continued to operate. One evening, the engines talked about the refinery and they were pretty annoyed.
Ugh! Why do we still have to put up with that stupid refinery?
It seems we don't have a choice as of now.
We are getting quite sick of your complaining, Golden Eagle. Daniel and the Queen Crew are trying everything in their power to get it shut down.
Well, why can't they? Because the stupid manager of that place won't let them. He wants to keep it open so that he can raise more and more and more money. He also said that he'll make us pay since he has a good influence over the safety board.
Good influence? What a load of rubbish!
I agree. Despite that place is where me and David get our fuel from. It's not a good place at all. I sometimes wish Daniel would use fuel from somewhere else, despite the expense.
That manager should be locked up behind bars if that's all he cares about. His oil refinery is likely to spring a leak and that oil could catch fire. Bambi told me today that the oil tankers nearly caused an accident at the forest when Sir Francis Drake was taking them to tea. Really? What happened?
Just then, Sir Francis Drake, the Lord Nelson, came into the sheds. He looked very exhausted.
Evening, you lot. I've had a long day and it's too dark for me to return home to the Cavalarian region. Do you guys mind if I stay here for the night?
Oh no, not at all, Francis.
Thanks, DOA. Anyway, what are you all talking about?
We were talking about that oil refinery, and David told us how those oil trucks played their tricks on you today.
Sir Francis Drake had an annoyed look on his smoke box.
Oh, yes, they did. They kept holding me back, and they even tried to spring a leak in Barry's forest on purpose.
What? Why?
Because they think it would be awesome to see a whole forest go up in flames.
The engines were at loss for words. Then Lucas broke the silence.
But don't they understand? That's the home of innocent animals.
You think that would stop them? I told them that and they just laughed and said that they can go live somewhere else. They don't care about the animals. They won't stop trying to start a fire.
How would they start a fire doing that anyway?
They were hoping for one of the sparks from my funnel to land on the leaking oil. If that happened, the whole train would have exploded and would have taken me with it. What's worse about those trucks is that all the couplings are old and the manager refuses to replace them with new ones because he thinks they cost too much money. My driver and fireman don't believe a word he says.
Ugh. Those trucks are nothing but trouble, but I think the manager is the worst one of them all. That place should not be here.
So despite that we're growing tired of your complaints, Golden Eagle, we all agree with you.
Golden Eagle gave a calm sigh.
That oil refinery has got to go one way or another, or there'll be one less forest in the kingdom.
Indeed, that prat of a manager has no respect for anyone but himself and his cold hard cash. He'll come to a sorry end eventually. You mark my words.
Tired from rambling, the engines drifted off to sleep. The next morning, the engines were being oiled and fired up for work when Daniel came in.
Morning, engines.
Morning, sir.
I say, Daniel, you look frustrated. Is something wrong?
Indeed. I tried to tell the manager of the oil refinery that his rolling stock need new couplings, but he thought I was being silly, and worst of all, he threatened me this time, saying that if I keep telling him more nonsense, which I'm not, he'll come and try to throw us out of business.
The engines were aghast.
He threatened to shut our railway down if we keep bugging him. Are you having us on?
I'm afraid not, Ernest. But have no fear, everyone. The Furry Railways will never be shut down. The government knows that we are in the right and agree that the oil refinery is too bad a place and are possibly going to try and shut it down themselves.
Well, thank God for that.
Agreed, Francis. I was getting more and more worried about the damage the pollution it let out was causing.
What?
Pollution, Ernest. Pollution is something that damages the environment around you. It is sometimes caused by nasty diseases and litter. Sometimes it's even caused by oil sources. That's why people are supposed to put litter in bins and why oil is supposed to be put into those oil tankers.
And I take it that's why all the goods we carry are carried in trucks.
Yeah, that's right, Max.
Well, it's a good thing we locomotives don't cause pollution.
Daniel then gave DOA a sad look.
What's the matter?
I'm afraid you're wrong. You locomotives do.
Hold on. Excuse me. Back up for a second there. We actually do cause pollution?
But how?
Well, Sir Francis Drake, you steam engines burn coal, which is itself a fuel type. When you do, you produce loads of smoke and ash into the air. And diesels like you, Lucas, you run on diesel oil, which is your own fuel type. Sometimes when you do, black smoke comes out through your vents and into the air. That can damage it, you know. And sometimes, many plants and animals can die. This is partially the reason why you steam engines were replaced by diesels, and why you diesels were replaced with electric trains.
Daniel's engines were shocked. They had been running for so long and had never realized what damage their coal and fuel could do.
But we don't need to do that, do we?
But there is nothing to worry about, you all. In fact, everyone knows that. And therefore, I have seen to it that you engines run on clean coal and clean diesel fuel. That way, you won't be able to produce so much smoke. You might produce some smoke, but it will be a lot cleaner.
Ew!
That's a relief.
Anyway, on to your jobs. Sorry to tell you this, Sir Francis, but you are on the oil train again.
Very well, sir.
Oh, and do take care. I heard those tankers have been very troublesome this morning.
Don't worry, sir. I will.
That's a good engine. Off you go then.
So Francis Drake set off to collect it. First, he took an empty box fan. The reason for this was a safety precaution. Sir Francis Drake felt that the further he was away from the tankers, the better. When he arrived there, he held his breath so that he didn't breathe in any of the nasty oil fumes. He gently buffered up to the tankers, who were very cross at the sight of him.
No! We want a proper engine, not an ugly, rotten sausage on wheels.
Sir Francis Drake was about to retort, but he decided it was best to ignore them. But as he waited to leave, the trucks wouldn't stop teasing and laughing at him. The Lord Nelson did his best to ignore them, but soon grew very cross.
That's enough! You're coming with me again today, whether you want to or not.
We're not going with you, and you can't make us.
We'll see about that.
won't go. We won't go.
Sir Francis Drake finally lost his patience.
Right! Any more nonsense and this run will be your last. I'll take you away to be put up for scrap if you don't stop behaving.
Why, you ignorant, useless person.
Stow it! Or I'll run you off a cliff instead.
That finally made them shut up. Sir Francis Drake was finally on his way. After about 20 minutes into the journey, the trucks came along well and Sir Francis Drake began to feel better.
Ah, that's more like it. Finally got them in order.
As he chuffed along, he took in the beautiful countryside to help ease his anger, but then the tankers began to grumble again.
Horrible engine. He's still the same stubborn jerk he's always been. We should be pulled by a proper engine, not this brainless idiot.
Listen up, boys. If he refuses to give us a proper engine, we'll break away on Rabbit Hill.
Yes, we'll break away. Let's do it.
Well, Sir Francis Drake, ignoring the tankers, worked. But as they started to climb Rabbit Hill, the leading tanker called out.
We want a proper engine. Stop right now and go find us another engine which is better than you.
Not a chance, chatterboxes.
That was all what the tankers needed to hear.
Ready, steady, go!
And they jerked out the coupling, which broke. Sir Francis Drake looked back in horror to see the trucks rolling back down the hill, and they were going faster and faster.
Oh no. Driver, after them. We need to stop them.
His driver set the reverser and the Lord Nelson shot backwards as fast as he could. The trucks were having fun as they rolled down the line.
Oh no, faster, faster!
Sir Francis Drake was going backwards faster than he had ever gone before.
I must stop them. I must.
Sir Francis Drake gave chase for about 10 minutes before suddenly... Sir Francis Drake's eyes widened. He heard an explosion not too far behind him. His driver looked back and gasped in shock.
Oh no! Francis! Look!
No. Oh God, please, no!
Sir Francis Drake had to get help immediately. His driver phoned for help on his mobile phone just as Sir Francis Drake arrived at the scene. One of the Furry Railway's most beautiful meadows was now burning. Sparks from the derailment ignited the spilt oil and the fire was still spreading. Thankfully, the fire brigade came in just in time to fight the blaze. Louis came in with the breakdown train, and he too was shocked when he saw the mess.
Oh my God!
Sir Francis Drake stayed to help clear it all up. The firefighters fought the blaze, and in no time at all, the fire was extinguished. Sir Francis Drake could now see the destroyed tankers in the burnt rubble. Max had brought some plank wagons for the now destroyed tankers to be taken away for scrap. As Sir Francis Drake helped to clear the mess, his olive green paint got very dirty from all the smoke and the soot. But he didn't complain once, nor did he ask for a washdown. The Great Prince, along with Bambi and Daniel, arrived on Louis and surveyed the aftermath.
I always knew that those trucks were going to do something to a part of my forest.
Sir Francis Drake agreed, but he couldn't help but feel a little guilty.
Are there any casualties?
Unfortunately, 7 animals were found to have perished.
Sir Francis Drake was distraught. He looked like he was going to cry.
Francis Drake, please don't cry.
How can I not?
The accident was not your fault. We always knew those couplings were no good.
You can say that again. Just look at the state of the meadow.
It will take a couple of months for this part to recover. But Olivia has agreed to help us give this land back to the animals by replanting some new plants. And I'm sure that not even the animals blame you for the accident.
Of course we don't. We understand that you tried to stop them. Alas, those efforts were in vain.
Sir Francis Drake felt much better.
I shall have a word with the safety board and tell them about this. About time!
And I also want to say, Sir Francis Drake, that you had tried your very best to get those tankers to behave, and I am very pleased with you. And you worked like a hero through this after the tankers crashed, especially since you offered some of your water to help put out the blaze before it spread. You are a really useful engine, Sir Francis Drake, and I'm very proud of you. As a reward, you shall be given a new coat of paint at the works. You deserve it after all you did.
Thank you, sir.
The next day, the manager of the oil refinery arrived at the sheds in his pompous black sedan.
Well, look who it is.
I'm terribly sorry about the accident today, Mr. Daniel. It won't happen again. Honest.
No, it won't, because you are going to prison.
Wait, what?
Your refinery has been a nuisance to the environment and my engines. I already told the safety board about your negligence to properly maintain your rolling stock, so they are not getting you out of this one.
You're a disgrace. Curse you.
In your dreams, you filthy git. Have fun in prison.
At last.
Good riddance.
As a result of this, I've struck a deal with another oil company. Fortunately, this company cares about the environment and maintains its equipment on a regular basis. It's expensive, but I'm not taking any more foolish chances like I did with this one.
Good man.
Oh, hi.
Anyway, Sir Francis Drake will be returning from the works later this evening. Queen Charlie wants to gather everyone in the kingdom to give him a hero's welcome.
And they set to work setting up. While Sir Francis Drake was away being repainted, the engines helped to bring trucks of flowers and trees to make the meadow beautiful again. And indeed, it did look pretty again once the whole charred field was full of life again. On the evening after they finished planting, Sir Francis Drake returned in his new coat of paint and crest, and to his astonishment, engines and animals all gave him a hero's welcome he had never received before. Engines whistled, honked their horns, and people cheered.
Okay, what is going on? What's this?
Queen Charlene, of course.
She did? Just for me?
Quite right. Queen Charlene Cavaliera was very pleased with your heroic efforts. We all know that you tried your best to stop those oil tankers from running away. Even though you didn't catch them, you went out of your way to help fight the blaze. Yes, it got you all dirty, but did you complain? Heavens no! This proves that you truly have learned the error of your ways. So speaking for all of us, we are very proud of you, Sir Francis Drake. Keep up the good work, and keep up this good attitude.
Hear, hear!
Sir Francis Drake was so happy he didn't know what to say. Eventually, when the applause died down, he spoke.
Thank you all so much. Especially you, DOA. You have taught me well about goods being the same type of work as passengers. And also to the other engines.
Sir Francis Drake nearly sobbed.
I'm sorry for being so rude to you in the past.
There's no need to apologize, Francis. You already did. We're sorry you had to see something that's so horrible.
It's not you who ran away from me and caused the accident. It's quite alright. And as for those tankers, I don't think they deserve what happened to them, but I think it served them right.
In the end, everyone all agreed that they were proud of Sir Francis Drake, the Southern Railway Lord Nelson.